I'll be reading the story, Gratitude is the Key. It's Sandra Doyle's story as told to Tiffany Irk. It was cold outside the night I learned the monetary value of a man's life. We had just had our 7th child when my husband fell ill. We didn't have insurance, so he kept putting off going to the doctor. He just kept getting sicker and sicker until he could barely breathe. So we had no choice but to rush him to the emergency room. He was weak and struggling to breathe, so I helped him cross the threshold and walk to the admissions area. After an initial assessment, it was determined that my husband required an emergency procedure to survive. However, we did not have insurance. And that's the moment when everything really changed for us. The hospital refused to treat my husband, my love, my children's father, without a hefty deposit of thousands of dollars that we did not have. My husband gathered himself up and started walking. I asked him, what was he doing? And he yelled, I'm going to go out there and lay down and die on the hospital steps, and you sue this hospital for everything they're worth and provide for our family. This initiated an arrangement with the hospital that allowed for my husband's treatment. He did not come home from the hospital. But I will never forget the feeling, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. He did come home from the hospital. I'm sorry. But I will never forget the feeling of being expendable due to poverty. That night at the hospital was just the beginning of our woes. Our primary breadwinner, my husband, remained ill and unable to work for the next several months. With 7 young children at home needing to be fed, I had no choice but to apply for assistance for the first time in my life. The amount of guilt and shame I felt walking to that office is something I will never forget. People judge you, and they say things like, you shouldn't have had so many children if you couldn't take care of them. But you never know how your life can change in the blink of an eye. So I went, and I pray that nobody ever feels the weight of being unable to feed their children. It's gut-wrenching. I went and I used the programs. Every opportunity for assistance to give us a hand up, I took it. And I began to practice gratitude, which is what really turned the tide for us. Daily gratitude revealed God's awesome presence in my life, and things started to change. I noticed that with each passing day, I found more and more to be grateful for. I joined the local Optimist Club to give back to my community and help the area youth. Before you know it, I was elevated to a distinguished leadership position and traveled to a convention in Arlington for the Optimist. It's been many years since that cold night at the hospital. And as I look back, I have nothing but gratitude for all the blessings in my life today. If there's one thing I could say to the world, it would be, don't lose hope and gratitude.